Broadcasting live at racefor8.com. My name is Dave Vincent alongside John Bike. Round of 16 action here as we have the local hometown hero, Alan Garner, going up against Nash, who comes from Ireland. Now, we've seen Nash play at the U.S. Open, and he's certainly one of these guys that you've got your eye on, as he could be potentially a national champion one of these days. He lost by 1 point to Martin Mulkerns, or else he would have been playing Charlie Shanks for a chance at getting to the finals of that national championship this past year. So he's certainly got game. He's good friends with Martin Mulkerns, who's also attending this tournament from Ireland. Nash in there with his gray shirt. And you see Alan Garner on and off in this broadcast coming into the court wearing his blue shirt. We were really just delayed because of a referee, trying to find a referee, somebody that was certified enough to handle this one, and that referee is Matt McLaughlin.
All right.
Who just got off a plane flight, and there's nothing worse than getting off a plane and then having to play a match. The only thing that could be close to that is getting off a plane and having to ref a match. That's not the same type of pain, but certainly not one that you want to write home to mom about. This match here features the local guy, Alan Garner, who certainly could be a race champion, one of the best handball players I've ever played against, with, or watched play. And Dermot said, you know, I actually want to play him. I mean, I hear how good he is. I want to play him. And it's very interesting. Some of these guys are so willing to play guys like Luis Moreno. They want to, you know, they've watched him on YouTube. They've watched him on Vimeo, on the on-demand page, or even, you know, locally or at the Worlds. And they say, he looks amazing. I want to see what I could do against him. And, you know, John, some people want to shy away from that. They want the easier draw, so they have, you know, more money or more points. But you see these Irish guys, they come in and they literally want to play the best players. Martin Mulkerns said, I couldn't be more delighted to play Dave Chapman until he actually beat me. And he said, did you see that shot that he made at 14? I mean, he remembers the numbers where he hit that left corner kill. And I said, he goes, I've never seen anything like it before in my life. And I said, well, what about the one he did right before that? And he said, I never saw that before. You know, so these guys really do admire the top players, and I believe
I remember those days. Yeah, I definitely coming up felt the same way. If I wasn't lucky enough to draw them, I was in the crowd watching them. I used to spend a lot of time just sitting right there in those seats, seeing what I could pick up.
Well, Alan Garner from San Antonio, Texas, there standing out of the court as we wait for that referee to get this one underway. Alan, 28 years of age, 6 feet tall, says that his favorite tournament is the Jake Plummer Hell of a Handball Bash.
Boy, that one's got quite a few votes.
Do you know where Alan is? Okay, Alan, you ready?
Alan said that his goals in handball moving forward are to play in as many tournaments as possible that he could possibly play in, and to get that #1 spot back.
Yeah, we're talking about adding Brady and McCarthy, what that would do to that final 8. And Garner's pretty much the same. He missed more than half the year last year, and his ranking certainly does not reflect his ability. He's a potential winner at any tournament he enters.
And the rumor is, you know, as we talk about what's going on in other courts, Nadi Alvarado, who has not played any handball really since the U.S. Open, finds himself down 12-22 versus Marco Chavez in this round of 16.
Boy, when I left
you guys all set?
I believe it was like 9-12 or 10-12.
Okay, Alan, we
clawed
pick
his way
number 1
back
or
into
2.
the match. And
Numbers 2, you get the first choice. You want to serve or
that's a
receive?
fine right there. Now, how do you find Matt? It was nice of him to step in and rest this match, but
you have to call Southwest and make sure they don't give him any peanuts on the flight back.
Well, you get a pick. Do you want to serve first or serve at halftime?
I really thought the hammer would be,
okay.
Maybe Matt didn't read this email,
will be serving.
The fact that all prize money checks are pre-authorized and pre-cut. So
right.
The worst effect of a fine is that you can't have your check because we have to go back and write the new one for the smaller amount.
That's the tough part.
That's
Now, I had one guy email me and say, what if I hand you $25.
Okay, one
Could you
game to
still just give me the
25,
check now? And I
halftime
said,
to
no.
Makes sense, but I
No,
like
I'm
that.
gonna wait
I was
home.
going that way
Serving
too. Whoever said that, make it a good point. But you are in charge, and this is a good chance to
I
prove
said,
that.
no, you can't. That's not going to happen. I'm going to go home, and then you owe me 25.
Second serve.
The extra 25 for the stamp, although it's now like 45, but nonetheless.
What about something for the
Side out.
Shipping and handling charge, an extra 5.
well, the effort it's going to take to do it,
Alan Garner steps in.
and the
here.
defiance.
Zero, serving 0.
I mean, who does he think he is, thinking he can challenge a written policy?
Oh, there's a little flip up on her hand left. Nash is left-handed. Alan Garner from just up the street. Made this trip myself, in fact, recently.
1, serving 0.
Driving from Houston to San Antonio. Alan doing the opposite of that. Took him
Screen serve.
less than 2 hours to get here.
I didn't think you could see that.
Oh, that couldn't be possible.
Screen serve.
San Antonio's
Two
more
serves.
than a 2-hour drive.
Probably so.
These are my old, in Texas, that is right down the street. Right? The old Highway 10 runs from Beaumont to El Paso, almost 1,000 miles. And that can't be. I just made that up.
Need Jimmy London here to give us the exact distance. But
2, serving
Aaron
0.
Garner, brother Aaron, who's also in the Elite 8 here for this tournament, he flew to San Antonio and then commuted over with Alan, and that was during that winter storm warning. We were worried about Alan on that frozen rain, but they said the roads are pretty clear.
That was interesting. Benign play there. You wouldn't think of it, but Nash, I know Garner likes
0,
that wide
serving
left
2.
corner angle. Nash moved right into it, which a ref wouldn't think of calling, but that is definitely Alan's favorite shot. I don't want him to be talked out of that shot.
Point.
That was a horrible looking shot there from Alan, who tried to go
1,
inside out.
serving 2.
Looking for
Short
that
ball.
final score from the Marcos
Second
the
serve.
Marcos Nadi Alvarado match, and it looks like Marcos won 25-12 versus Nadi Alvarado, and now Marcos Chavez, who pulls up this upset and
Side
defeats
out.
our number 3 seed here in this tournament, is
2, serving 1.
going to now face Emmett Pachot, which I'm sure he's not happy about since they played just recently at one of our stops. But he is happy about making it to the quarterfinals. They're going to play tomorrow at 11 a.m.
And Marcos, maybe we should go the other way. Instead of fining everybody else who did not show up at the booth, Marcos is here. You might want to capitalize. He looks about as happy as Richard Sherman right now. I kind of want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, well, this
definitely
is one of
fired
those
up.
interesting things where, you know, I know we should be
serving
focusing on this
2.
match here, but Marcos, the first person to be in a non-broadcast court, is the first guy to actually come in and follow protocol to get his 5-minute interview. And we're doing the interview
2,
with hand
serving
signals
2.
and puppets
Well, I would
from afar.
gladly get up from. I'm up and down anyway. Fink will be in here to kick me out in a few minutes anyway.
Well, let's do it. We're going to say goodbye to John Bike here as we're going to put Marco Chavez into the hot seat, as they say.
3, serving 2.
The score here is 3-2 Nash. And Alan Garner going to pull out a tough one here. This is going to be one of those matches that the crowd should deeply like, those in
4,
Ireland and those
serving 2.
here locally, because it looks like you have 2 good players. Both are going to put out their effort here, but let's talk about that effort. Marco Chavez now in the booth, coming in with virtually no ranking. Marcos, you had to qualify earlier today, and then you go into long time, I would say, sparring partner, but it's been
2,
intermittent throughout
4.
the years. You've never played him really in a tournament that I know of, and certainly if you have, Nadi owns that lifetime record, and this, you know, as Nadi said, you're over against him. Well, that is no longer. Now you've got that win. You both are 40 years of age. You could have been playing in the seniors, both of you. You are the number 1 seed, or, you know, in the top bracket, probably to get that number 1 seed eventually in that senior bracket. But let's
5,
not talk
serving
about
2.
that. You just took down a guy you probably really have never really won in a tournament, play Nadi Alvarado, and that was just a few minutes ago. Score 25-12. What happened?
Yeah, I've never beat him. It's always been a struggle. He makes great
6,
shots,
serving
and
2.
you know, I always have a hard time with his power, and you know, my slow game, it just doesn't adapt very well. I mean, I've lost to him several times. I've never beat him. Only just local play, that's it, but that doesn't count. We all know that.
Side out.
But, yeah, it's unfortunate for Nadi. I mean, you know, he did have a bad day from what I was looking at. He was kind of struggling there. But, you know, I'm going to take advantage of it if I can and take the win.
Well, that's a great win right there. So
Point.
congratulations. Now you go against a guy that you have defeated in tournament play, but maybe not recently, Emmett Peixote. And that's going to be tomorrow, I believe, at about 11 o'clock in the morning. And you were one of those guys on the cusp. You actually had a flight canceled due to the severe weather problems they had here.
Yes. Mondo Ortiz and I, we both had a flight. His was on Spirit. Mine was on Southwest. And what happened was that, you know, thanks to Tom Kopp with Owen Gloves, he actually used his freaking fire miles and got me a ticket to get here on United Airlines, which was the only airline that was flying out of Los Angeles yesterday. So thanks to him, I'm here.
Yeah, let's talk about your sponsor there, Tom Kopp, for really saving your tournament and actually helping you do something you've never been able to do before. I know he's a close friend, but Owen Gloves has certainly helped out you from the very beginning, back when you first started. And Tom and, of course, the whole crew there have supported you throughout those years. How important is it for you to be able to reach out or have those sponsor, after they hear that you're backing out, reach out to you and help you?
It's you know, it's great, you know, that they're there for us, and you know, in these tough times when you need them, you know. And I'm just glad to be able to perform and at least, you know, get to the next round and beat someone as high as a caliber as Nadi Alvarado.
What happened during that match here as we're at 3-7? Still both players kind of trying to feel themselves out here in this one-game match to 25. Do you think that one-game match format benefits you with Nadi not being as fresh? I mean, let's put it this way. He is fresh, but he's not fresh. He's not as fresh as the sense that you've actually had some games underneath your belt and you're acclimated to this court and the format, and he just comes in kind of raw, and it's just not the same. He hasn't really been able to hit many balls in this court.
I think that would be tough. I mean, for me, I got to play, you know, two matches or 2 games before this round that I beat Nadi, and you know, I played Nash and he had me 9-0, and I told myself, you know what, you better at least try. You know, don't push, but try and make shots, because you know I got to get a rhythm. You know, and I mean, it helps, you know, when you're on that court and you can, you know, get familiar with it. You know, I knew it was slippery. Nadi was having that trouble. He was asking the ref, you know, to wipe the floor down and, you know, to get someone to clean it. So, you know, I know he was struggling a little bit, and, you know, so I took, like I said, I took advantage.
Well?
Yeah, I mean, I was wearing these high socks. I was wetting my shoes and getting the dust off them, but, you know,
7.
I got in there and played 100% and got a good turnout. I was happy about it.
Well, you lost in the qualifier final, but then as a loser, what we call the lucky loser, because then you get implemented back into the round of 16. But your penalty is that you have to face a number 1 through number 4 seed, and you're talking Nadi Alvarado, Dave Fink, Sean Lenning, or Luis Moreno. Those are the guys that you could have reached with a blind draw, and you happen to pull Nadi Alvarado. When I first saw it, I said, oh, that's, you know, kind of interesting. We have 2 40-year-olds here, but the part I didn't like was the fact that you two are in the same region. I think you probably played last week as you're preparing for this tournament, or you at least saw him down at the club.
Yeah, I saw him at the club.
So that, to me, it's like, too bad these guys have to face each other. I hate to see that same region thing go on, but you just did something that's only happened one other time in the history of the race, and that is that a lucky loser came in and picked off one of the top 1 through 4. Last year was in this tournament when Anthony Celesto defeated the number 1 seed, Sean Lenning, in that opening round. And so now you've done what's the inevitable, and this actually creates a huge problem for us. So that's the only reason why I'm bringing it up.
You're welcome.
Because now what do we do, Marcos? Now Nadi comes into this as that guy that he gets that early bye, and now does he go into the playoffs, or is his tournament over? You know, it's one of those things that we have to make that decision. Last year, Sean Lenning wasn't allowed to play in the playoffs after he lost in that round of 16. And so this year, I think we've made a little bit of adjustments, and Nadi probably is going to be out of the tournament now. So it makes kind of an interesting thing. We had 2 9th place finishes last year at this tournament, with Sean Lenning at that time not allowed to go into the playoffs. That would have made, too many people in the playoffs. So I want to congratulate you for obviously defeating Naughty Alvarado, but also really messing up our draw in our tournament. So
well, you're welcome.
in the process, we really don't anticipate a number 1 through number 4 seed losing to a lucky loser, but this draw here is one of the best you've ever seen, and that's even having Dave Munson and Armando Ortiz out of the tournament.
12.
Yeah,
5.
For a while there, I thought the Pro Tour was sort of weak, and it just seems like it's just getting better and better. These kids have matured a lot. They're playing great handball. I mean, look at Alan Gardner,
12.
He might be losing here right now, but we know how tough he is, You got this kid Nash that's just incredible. Lefty. I mean, I was serving it to his right, and he's returning it like if he's a right-handed player,
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And actually, he has a modified Irish
12
whip
is serving 5.
that is kind of stunning. And Allen just barely digs that ball up. Now, we were talking to John Bike about this. I'm going to ask you the same thing. That when a new player comes along like Nash, who just won a big tournament in Ireland, the Gaffney Memorial Tournament, and you watch him and you see him play, a guy like you is wanting to play him in the tournament, where other players wish they just had a better draw. But what is that? Is it the competitive fire of the sport, or is it, hey, I have some tricks that I think that will neutralize all these weapons that he seems to be using against these guys that I put up there like Alan Garner as being the top players in the world?
Yeah,
Score is 15-5.
I feel as if
3 minutes,
I can go into a tournament and I really not feel too threatened over anyone besides, honestly, Luis Moreno, maybe Alan Gardner. Other than that, I think the field's pretty much open. I mean, if Paul Brady was here, it'd be a different story.
Yeah.
And
that's one of the guys where you
you
don't want to play.
You respect a little more than others. But Paul Brady and a lot of these Irish kids that are coming, they're tough. So I like playing them, and it's good. It's a good game.
Well, we all face this. We go down to the club, and there's the guys that we play every single time.
Yeah.
Now, recently you went to Tucson and defeated Dave Fink in a match. It was a great tiebreaker, and then played Luis Moreno in the finals. And you had some good matches prior to that as well. So I'm sure that was a great feeling to know that, hey, this guy's ranked 4th in the world, and I just beat him. I mean, I don't tour, and I just beat this guy. I mean, there's more than just one match. You have to, win tournaments. And the thing about Dave is he has that longevity. He plays in every single tournament. He has the points, and that's why he has the rankings. But you're 40 now. You've got a family, you've got kids, and you have a business that you're running. It's not easy to go out there and travel around the world and play in every tournament. It's also not easy on the body. What this year has made you, maybe hit a couple race events or play a little bit more?
Well, I felt pretty strong, coming into the tournament, and I give it all to big ball. I really do. Playing, Sal and Ibanez and Juan Santos and Sam and all those guys, they'll play me indoor, big ball, and it really just gets my heart racing and gives me the love of the game. I love playing this game. I really do. And my business is about to start, and there's going to probably be a couple of stops I can't go to for sure, but I'm just taking advantage as much as I can. And, I'm going to try to make as many as I can, this year. But, I still have that love for the game, and I really do want to play. So.
Well, it's interesting at the age of 40 to still be as good as you are, but it seems like you've found a way to minimize how much you have to actually work in the court because you have those great hands, but still maximize taking the right shot possible. It seems like when I watch you play, you're playing chess with these guys, like forcing them to make a shot that then you could do what your strengths are without having to go crazy and run all over the court. Now, you're going to play a guy that formerly was a little bit crazy, Emmett Peugeot, tomorrow when you guys face each other in the quarterfinals. I know you have won some matches against him. You've certainly lost some as well, but can you defeat him tomorrow with the way he is playing right now, which just seems to be rejuvenated and re-energized since his marriage?
I'm really not going to say I can beat him because I think that's bad luck. But, I'll go in there 100%. I feel strong, and it's not going to be easy for him, the last tournament we played, I think it was a pretty close match. So I know I'm there. Stop those errors a little bit. You know, play that chess game like he said. Hit the ball in, in positions where he can't kill it too much, and you know, try to take advantage.
5 serving 15.
Well, we're at 5-15 in this match. Alan Garner and Dermot Nash.
Side out.
And it just seems that Alan's just all out of sorts. And you know, the rumor mill is
15,
that he's got one of the 10-year worst colds of his career, and his whole family's been at the ER. Doesn't feel good, lethargic, and puny. And that's just sort of, I'm making the excuse for him, but we knew before the match started that he was just completely under the weather. Now he could have gone like, you know, he could have gone like Michael Jordan and decided to drop 51 points on the Celtics while he had 4 IV bags the day before. But you can see Alan's just not moving.
He must have a lot on his mind. No, his kid went to the hospital. I guess they stayed the night over there. I guess he had a real bad cough or cold or something, and so he must have a lot on his mind as well. So it's tough having a kid in play and knowing that they're sick too. So we hope everything's well back at home. That's for sure.
Yeah, and it really does affect you when something's wrong with your family. You know, handball's one of those games where you don't have. You seem to have a better experience in there when you don't have to think. But the second you start thinking of things, it just ruins your game, your day, everything's messed up. You know how it is with your work. If you have a contract that's sitting on your desk and you say, I need to get in early and sign it, I need to execute this and get the ball rolling on this new product, and then you're thinking about that during the game, you just completely miss every shot that you're trying to make.
Yeah, it's much easier to be single and play handball and not have to worry about anything, that's for sure.
Less worries. Well, Marcos, I know that you have a post-game regimen that you do when you stretch down and all that stuff, and I know you're going to get ready for your match, so I'm going to go ahead and let you leave here, but I wanted to thank you for stopping by, and also congratulations on your match against Nadia Alvarado. Marco Chavez takes down, as a lucky loser, coming up against, I believe you were the 14 seed. Is that right?
I didn't even look at the draw.
Okay, I know you're also one of those guys that just says, where do I play?
Can I have some of that Tahiti money, though, since Nadi didn't show up?
Yeah, Nadi has literally put us up into buying a couple margaritas now. So.
All right,
Thank you for stopping by. Congratulations on the win, and you're in the money. So that's also good. Back into the booth will be John Bike here in a minute after that condensation gets cleaned up from the headphones. And look at Nash's 20-5 against Alan Garner.
Serving 5.
Certainly not the result anyone was expecting. We're all aware of how strong Nash is, but
Point.
Well, Dave Fink said to me, you know, I'm watching Nash warm up, and I'm not seeing it. And
21 serving 5.
I think he's just one of those guys, kind of like Owen Kennedy,
Point.
where he just is very consistent with his play, but maybe a little bit more aggressive with his paddle kills up front and obviously his youth. And that's no knock to Owen, because Owen Kennedy is one heck of a player even now.
Side out.
Who also said that he would be coming to the U.S. Open this year. Owen Kennedy will be playing in the singles.
5 serving 22.
But he's making his reservations now, and he wanted me to confirm the dates.
Is he going back on the 60x30 season? That's always been the conflict.
He said he's going to definitely come to the U.S. Open this year. That's what he said, and he told me that 60x30 is quote-unquote winding down.
But what a run did he have?
Oh yeah, unbelievable.
Second serve.
Allen normally tees off on that shot. He gives it all he has.
Point.
And Nash does that inside-out right-handed kill shot with power.
23 serving 5.
Pretty impressed with the right-handed play from Nash. John, you'd have to say that he and Dave Fink are the two best lefties in the game. right now.
That sounds right.
Point.
I'd actually like to see those two play.
The winner of this goes where?
24,
Now,
serving
they're on
5.
two opposite sides of the bracket, and a lot of winning is going to have to go on from both of them. And here it is. This is game and match point for Nash, who just so easily took
Game
down
and match.
Alan Garner here, 25-5, and Alan is a quick exit. Darman Nash was the guy who defeated Marco Chavez, who then goes and defeats Nadi Alvarado as a lucky loser, which is a strange thing in itself. So we saw that bracket and that qualifier come through here as Nash takes down Alan Garner and Marco Chavez earlier taking down Nadi Alvarado Jr. in a 30-minute shellacking.
And the match started a little bit late. I'm going to say it was less than 30 minutes.
Yeah, you're right.
Phenomenal.
That was, probably around the 23 or 22-minute mark. We are going to take a quick break. We do have one final match starting at 7 o'clock, and it's going to be another one of those quandaries, although I think the solution is simple. It's Andy Nett and Robbie McCarthy on this show court here. Adam Bernhardt, local hometown hero, up against Luis Moreno. I'm sure the locals will love to see that, but Andy Nett and Robbie McCarthy certainly going to have to try to make that executive decision. That'll be at 7 o'clock. We're going to take a break. We have 30 minutes until that next live broadcast. We want you to stick close for John Bike and Marco Chavez earlier, as well as those in the van, Chris Garrad and Linda Manning, plus the work from Dave Fink. My name is Dave Vincent. We'll be back. More action in 30 minutes here at racefor8.com.
At Shelters, you'll discover healthy and loving animals just waiting to become a part of your family. Why wait? You can make a difference in the life of an animal. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person and adopt your new best friend today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.